Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Tim and I am doing a playthrough of Silent War 2.0, campaign number 3, Turning the Tide. Just getting ready to start week 2 of April 1943, which is the second turn of the game. And we are using the IJN expansion with this. I did want to start off with a few corrections from the previous video. Thank you to Troy, one of our viewers, for pointing out that when I did the ultra roll on the first turn, I looked at the result under War Period 1 instead of under War Period 3. We should have actually had ultra areas in South China Sea 2 and the South Philippine Sea instead of Empire Pacific and the Gilberts. I was so used to, after playing through the short campaign 3, which was during War Period 1, so used to just automatically looking at that row that I didn't even think about it. But yeah, that should have been this one here. Too late to do anything about that, unfortunately. The second thing is, one of the turns we drew a diligent escort for we revealed a diligent escort on the combat display during one of our attacks, and I forgot to draw an IJN ship for that, and there is some special rules for that regarding diligent escorts, just to make everybody aware. I'm sure we'll run into them again, so hopefully we'll get it right next time. But basically, you don't immediately return the diligent escort counter to the cup. You put it next to the new ship that you draw, or under it, or on top of it, just to remind you that the ship that you drew from the IJN set is actually a diligent escort. And because it is, it gets to add a +3 to its ASW factor, but it can't go over 6. So that was a mistake on my part. It didn't have any effect on the gameplay because well, it may have, I guess. It may have been a slightly different ASW value that we needed to use, but I'm pretty sure we didn't get anything that round anyway. Let's see. Also, and this is one that I can fix. When I was moving the Gar and the Thresher from Fremantle out to South China Sea 2, I said that because there's only one red box for War Period 3 for a 9, and because they were on the transit side and we weren't having any congregating risk factor, that I didn't need to roll for a transit event. What I forgot was that whenever you move from, through, or to an area that's either narrow or shallow, you have to add a +1 to your die roll. In fact, that +1 modifier actually applies to the initial die roll and also to both of the rolls, subsequent rolls that you make on the transit event table, if necessary. So actually, they would potentially have to roll for a transit event on a 9. So we're going to redo that here real quick. The Gar rolls a 2, so he's okay. And then for the Thresher, he rolled a 5. Okay, so no change, but just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that and we didn't get by with something there that we weren't supposed to. So they are still on patrol side there in South China Sea 2. And then one last thing, it was something I just realized and was thinking about regarding the setup of this scenario. During War Period 1, one of the events that can happen, and actually will always happen, because even if you don't roll it during War Period 1, it will trigger as soon as you enter War Period 2. So this would have already happened. This is when the Aleutian campaign opens. It's what opens up Dutch Harbor base. And the player is supposed to designate a minimum of 8 submarines to base from Dutch Harbor, and those subs are only allowed to operate in the Aleutians and the Corals, and have to be replaced if you lose them. And that is in effect until in War Period 3, I believe. Yep. War Event 0 is the end of the Aleutians campaign. At which point Dutch Harbor is closed, and obviously you no longer have to have those 8 subs committed up there. And again, that's one that will always happen, even if you don't roll it. As soon as you go to War Period 4, Dutch Harbor will close. So what I noticed, though, was that in the setup for Campaign 3, they only have 7 subs assigned to either Dutch Harbor, the Aleutians, or the Corals. We have none in the Corals. But there's 5 subs at Dutch Harbor and then 2 in the Aleutians. So right off the bat, the campaign setup is breaking that rule. So I posted a note on Board Game Geek about that, waiting a response. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do to resolve that is take one of the P-class submarines that are based at Pearl Harbor and instead have them be based at Dutch Harbor. And it just so happens that the Permit was one of the ones that did not pass his readiness check and had to wait pierside, so it should be easy to correct that just by moving him up here to pierside at Dutch Harbor. So we'll just pretend that he actually started the scenario there, failed his readiness check, and went to the pierside box at Dutch Harbor. So we've got these 6 subs here that are in port, and then the 2 S-boats that we sent over to the Corals last turn. Those will be our 8 subs that are just operating in these 2 areas here. All right, so I think with that, we are ready to get started. So let's roll for our war event, see if we get one this turn. Remember, just a 0 to 3 on the black die is all that counts. And we did get a 3, so we've got war event 1. We need to refer to the table in the scenario at the back of the scenario book for the war periods. I liked, for the first game, I had these printed out on separate cards so that I didn't have to keep referring back to the book, but at least as of now, the scenario book isn't available as a PDF yet, so I can't do that. And I did do some comparing, and there are a few changes that have occurred in the war event tables. Some of them possibly unintentional. I have an open ticket, so to speak, with Brian Miller about that to get some clarification on those. But anyway, war event 1 is no roll on the ultra table this turn. So I was hoping to get a chance to redeem myself from that mistake last turn, but I guess I won't be able to. All right, so torpedo improvement phase. Again, we don't get to do that until we've sunk quite a few more ships. I think we have to get to 270 before we can start rolling for that. So we skipped the ultra weather. We are in April again, so just a 0 is going to cause a tropical storm to form. And we did not get it. So that will move us on to our R segment. So no reinforcements, not until I think we get some in May, but that won't be till a couple more weeks away. So let's start with our ready phase. So we've got, we'll start up here at the top at Dutch Harbor. We've got these 4 that need to come out. So we'll roll them one at a time. We got 3 3s and sorry, we don't have to roll for them. What am I doing? They're pier side, so they automatically go ready for sea. Same thing here at Brisbane. I was mispronouncing that last episode. My apologies to any Australians that might be watching. I found out that that's actually pronounced Brisbane. And then for Pearl Harbor, all of these go ready for sea. We just have the Gatto, who finished their repairs last week. We get to see if they can come out and play. They got a 5, so yes, they do. Looking at this number here, that's their readiness rating. Okay, that's we got none in our submarine tender. So I think that moves us to the repair phase. So again, starting up here at Dutch Harbor, we've got one that needs a 5 or less to advance, and he does. And then this one needs a 3 or less, and he does as well. And then the only other one we have is this one in repair box 3 at Pearl Harbor. He needs a 4 or less to move up, and he does as well. Awesome. Repair crews are on the ball this week. Okay, that's going to do it for our RRR segment. Nope, not quite. Last step, prep for operations phase. So all of these subs that are at sea, move them up to the operating section. That line there where the board splits. Keep catching on it when I move across it. I know, I should play with plexiglass on top. All right, that is that. And now we're ready to move to the operations segment. So I believe what we'll do, just to get them all out of the way and not potentially inducing some congregating risk for those that are out on patrol, I'm going to bring back all of these subs that are marked RTB. So we'll start here with the Gudgeon. He's going to come back to Fremantle. No transit event check required because you don't count the area activity chart that they're moving from. We would have to count their shallow narrow modifier if they were moving into an area. For example, if they moved up to here. Of course, not for War Period 3, but just as an example, we would use this area activity chart, but then still have to apply the -1 or the +1 modifier for coming from a narrow or shallow area. But in this case, you don't use their departure area for the activity chart. So he just goes back to the broom box. Now for the Trout, again, he's moving through the Java Sea, but it has no red boxes for this war period. We don't have to consider the one he left from. So he is good with no transit event check. And who else we got out here? Let's do these ones that are coming back to Brisbane. Again, just coming from there straight into port, so no check required for the Porpoise. He was returning from truck, I believe, the special mission zone last time. This guy is spotted, but it isn't going to matter because, again, no transit check required. So he will go in Brisbane's broom box. And then these two the same. All right. I think we'll bring... I'll decide where I want all these guys to go. They can make it back to Fremantle, so we'll send them there. They will have a transit event check because we have a red box here in the band of C. They will get a -1 modifier for being on transit side, but then a +1 for going through narrow and or shallow waters. So just a straight roll, so only a 9 will trigger a check. They did not roll a 9. So they go to Fremantle's broom box. Who else we got? I think we'll send these ones in the Gilberts. I could either send them back up to Pearl or to Brisbane. We got a pretty good number kind of operating from Pearl already. You know what? Let's do... Let me see what these guys actually are. That's a T class. That's a Gatto. He's a nice one. That's an early Gatto. Why don't we do this? Why don't we send the Tuna to Brisbane? So again, no transit event check required because no red box here for War Period 3. So he will go there. Let's send the other two up to Pearl. And again, no red box in the transfer route. So they both make it back without incident. Okay, then we've got a couple here. These are older boats. We'll send them back to Brisbane, I think, because they can't quite make it there, but it'll be fine. So they will get this far. And again, no red boxes in either the area they moved through or to, so they do not need a transit check. And then up here we've got, right, these guys are still moving out, so we can hold off on those. None of these are RTBing. I think some of these are. Yes, and they're damaged. So we definitely want to get them back to Pearl. Dutch Harbor's repair abilities are not quite as good. You need a 135 for them to move versus 468 for Pearl. So we want these guys to get back to Pearl. Looks like the shortest route is going to be down this way. Or this way. Either one, but I think we'll send them. Let's see, do we want to do that yet? Gonna get some congregating risk there if we do. Then we're planning on sending these guys. Well, these guys are going over here. Probably up to East China Sea, I think is where I was planning on sending them. So let's send them out first. Clear this area a little bit. So the congregating risk does kick in even if it's just the area that they're moving out of that has the congregating risk. So there's 5 here. So the first one that moves out is going to get a +1 modifier to his transit event check. And you can see both the Marianas and the East China Sea have 1 red box. So we'll use the East China Sea's op area as the one that we use. And it's shallow as well. So we're going to get -1 modifier for being on transit side, but then +1 for shallow and +1 for congregating risk. So a net of +1. So an 8 or 9 is going to trigger a transit event check. We got a 1. So that was the Sunfish. So he made it there, and he's going to patrol there next turn. The Steelhead will not have the congregating risk DRM then, so his will just be a straight roll. So only a 9 will trigger an event check. He got a 3, and he will patrol there next turn. All right, so now we've got a route through the Marshall Islands with no congregating risk, except I think we're in the same situation here where we've got 5 there currently. So the first one that leaves will be have the congregating risk factor. So why don't we send the undamaged one first? So he's going to go to here. The transit event check will occur in the bone-ins. So if we actually get a transit event and it includes an RTB result, even though he's already RTB, that will force him to stop in that op area. If he just gets spotted, then he can continue moving on. So let's see, we're going to have our -1 for transit event side and then +1 for the congregating risk. So only a 9 will trigger it. And he got a 5. So he's there. And then that means the other 2, since they are on their transit side and neither one of them is spotted, I don't believe damage plays a factor in transit event checks. This is a document that I compiled just to have all of the DRMs handy in one place, since a lot of the tables don't include all the DRMs. So to avoid having to continue looking back in different areas of the rule book, I just put them all together here on one sheet. This is available in the files section of Board Game Geek if anyone's interested in downloading it. But yeah, I don't see anywhere that damage plays a factor for transit event checks. So it's just going to be the +1, -1. Or no, sorry, just the -1 for being on transit side. No more congregating risk. So there's no way that they can roll a 9, so we don't even have to roll it. They will come over here to the Marshall Islands as well. Well, I take that back. Once. Yeah, because we've got 3 there already. How can we do this instead? Let's see. if we send, where were we sending those? I think we were sending them out to Empire Pacific to replace the ones that were coming back. So I think either way, we're gonna get some congregating risk here on, but maybe avoid risking the damaged ones as much. So let's go ahead and get these guys out next. So they will go through the bone-ins to Empire Pacific. 2, 3, 4. So these are all going to have congregating risk of +1. So again, -1, +1. So only a 9 will have an effect. Right, yep, no shallow. All right, he got a 6, so he's good. He will patrol there next turn. Do the same for the sawfish. Only a 9 will matter. 6. And then the runner. And a 3. All right. Well, you know what? In hindsight, it didn't really matter because these guys are still, because they're leaving this area, going to have that congregating risk. So I guess it didn't really matter which order I did those in. So let's have them go this direction though. So again, +1 for congregating risk, but then -1 for being on transit side. So only a 9 will matter. A 1, so he's fine. And this guy, same thing. And he got a 0. So they both make it to the North Pacific unseen. Okay, I think that is all of our RTBs and all of our outgoing transit subs. So that just leaves the ones on patrol. So I'm gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back and do those. Okay, we are ready to start doing our subs that are out on patrol. So I figured we'll just start over here on the west side of the map, work our way east. So in the South China Sea 2, we have 3 subs here. Let's see what they can find. We're not narrow here, just shallow, so no modifier to the search and contact roll. So we'll start with the Tautog. He got an 8 and a 6. So 8 for War Period 3 is going to be a high density, or not high density, moderate density. And 6 will be a large convoy. So a moderate density, large convoys for War Period 3 is going to be 2, 3, 1, and 1. Okay, I think we'll set up in column B here. It's got the most ships for us. We are a 4 tactical rating. If we go aggressive, we could actually flip over all 5 of those. Why don't we try that? All 5 of the red balls, that is. So we have a passenger ship that'll get replaced with an IJN unit. Uh-oh. Diligent escort. He was hiding in there. Oh boy. So as soon as he's revealed, we have to roll on this diligent escort line of the counterattack chart. And so I don't think there's any applicable modifiers. We're not damaged, not reattacked, not spotted. We are aggressive, so he does get a +1 for that. So let's see what happens. Rolled a 5. It becomes a 6, so we are spotted now. That's not good. If we had been damaged by that, we could immediately withdraw without continuing the attack round, but we're not, so we will keep going. We're gonna flip this one and then this one. All right, we get 4 TDC markers. I switched to a bowl for these. I think it'll be a little quicker to get out what we need for that. So 1, 2, come on, 3 and 4. So we got a 0 there, a +1. Come on, give us something negative. Oh, and I almost forgot, we got to replace this guy from the IJN units. And we got AX 8,000 tons Mogamigawa Maru. A little bit bigger than what was there, but higher defense too. Oh, I'm afraid with that 4 ASW he's got, might not have much of a chance at anything here. Move this over here. Let's see. 0, 0. Looks like this guy's going to be our best bet. So if we do a I'm trying to think, we could, I guess, theoretically choose not to attack at all, and then they wouldn't get a counterattack since it's the first round, but I think we should give it a shot here. So we're going to be at 5 with our torpedo modification. -1 for the ship defense, -4 for the ASW puts us down to 0. The TDC is also 0, but then -1 because of our aggressive posture, so that gives us a 1. So our 2-hit number is 1. We get a -1 DRM, so we need a 2 or less. Did not get it. All right, so for the counterattack, he's got 4. There is 1 red box in the area, so that becomes 5. ASW for the war period is 3, so he's starting at 8. We've got 3 for our defense, but then we're in shallow waters, so we have to subtract 1. So let's say we're at 5, 6, 7, 8, -2, 6. Ouch, that's bad. 5 to 6 row, and a +1 for aggressive. This could be bad. Nope, 1, good. Nothing. All right, well, I think we better skedaddle. So let's do our endurance check. He's a B rating. And we were aggressive, so +1 to the roll. So he needs a 3 or less to not have to go home. He has to go home. All right, next we've got the GAR. Again, just a straight roll. 4 and 8. So 4 is going to give us a sparse. That's the lowest number we can get to actually get something. And 8 will be a task force. So we've got a sparse task force for war period 3 is 1, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I think we'll set up in, boy, column D could have some nice warships there. Yeah, let's do it. I think we will just go standard this time. So we're flipping over 4. So let's do, oh, come on, another diligent escort. All right, well, he gets an immediate roll. This time there is no modifier. He got a 7 though, that's gonna hurt. 7 is a damaged. So, wow, yeah, I think we're gonna invoke that special rule. Just find it here again. Just to double check. If diligent escort is revealed in a column that does not already have one, blah, 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 blah. If the submarine is damaged, the player may choose to withdraw from combat at this point, proceeding to the endurance phase. So I think that's probably going to be wise with that damage on us. So we are a B rating. We are damaged, so we get a +1. We're going to need a 3 or less. And we got it. So he gets to stick around if he wants to. He is damaged after all. Might not be wise. I think with the Thresher, I'm going to actually have him patrol move up here to South China Sea 1. Because it has slightly better chance of getting a contact. Plus we're not in shallow waters that way, so let's have him try his luck up there. So no modifier to the search and contact. Ooh, 9 and 4. So that's going to be high density. And 4 is still a small convoy though. So high density small convoy. Work period 3 is 3, 2, and 2. Not the greatest situation here, but I think we will set up in column A. And we're going to go cautious this time, so I only have to flip over 3. So let's do this one. Oh, that hospital ship is back. Okay, an AP that'll get replaced, and a destroyer that will also get replaced. All right, so let's get those replacements out here. We've got a 6,000-ton oiler, the Goyo Maru, for there. And then for our destroyer, we got, ooh, that's a nasty one, the Niisuki. All right, that was from B Cup. Well, let's see. We get our 4 TDC markers. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what we got. Okay, -2 on the hospital. Okay, good. -2 on that one. And that one. Lots of -2s. And +1. Okay, so I think we'll go after this oiler. We're going to have, so that'll be our designated TDC that is unmodified. So we've got 6 minus 1 is 5, minus the 2 defense for the ship, minus 2 ASW from the destroyer. Then we get to add back in 2 from the TDC. No modification to the die roll since we're targeting our unmodified TDC target. So we need a 3 or less. Hey, we got a 2, and that 4 will get modified down to a 3. We're at 6,000 tons, So we just damaged him. So hoping that would be a sunk. Well, that will give him -1 from his defense on the reattack. If we want to reattack, this might be a little chancy. Well, we got to do our counterattack first, I guess. Let's see what happens with that. So we've got 2 ASW, 3 from the war period makes 5, 1 red box is 6, minus our 3 defense. So he's going to be on the 3 to 4 row, but with a -1 for us being cautious. And he got an 8. Uh-oh. It's a 7. 3 to 4, 7 is spotted. So we've been spotted. I don't know. We're going to have to flip over those 2 rising suns. We're already spotted. It's going to be the reattack round. He's going to have +2. Even if we stay cautious, he'll still have +1. That could end up being a pretty high, ASW value. So unfortunately, I hate to leave that damaged ship there, though. Let it go. You know what? Let's take a chance. We'll stay cautious. This may be a mistake, but okay, good. And another destroyer. See what he becomes. Hopefully it's still only a 1 or a half. Nope, he's a 2. The Isokazi. B for you. Oh boy. All right, 4 TDCs again. Need that one to be really good. And we're not going to target either of those, but we got to put one out. All right, -1 there. Ooh, nice. -2. So that'll be a -3 because it's the reattack round. Oh, a -3 over there. Okay, so we'll make this again our designated unmodified TDC. So we're going to have 5 for our attack, minus only 1 now because he's damaged, so that becomes 4. We got 4 ASW showing, so that takes it down to 0. But then our TDC is 3, so we're at a 3 or less that we need with no die roll modifier. Come on. Nope. Okay. And then we got another counterattack round. This time with 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. Minus our 3 defense. We're going to be on the 5 to 6 row this time. +1 for being spotted, +1 for reattack, but then -1 for cautious. So the 5 to 6 row with a +1. Need this to be low. Ooh, that's probably going to sink us. 5 to 6 on a 10. Oh, sunk plus. So it means we got to do this additional die roll. Yeah, actually, I normally roll both at the same time here, but I haven't been doing that the last couple times. So if we roll a 4 to 9, we are actually sunk. Otherwise, if we can get a 0 to 3, we're just going to be damaged RTB. So let's see what we get for the second die roll. Ooh, a 3. Nice. So he is only damaged and has to RTB. So he's got it all here. Spotted, damaged, and RTB. Hopefully we can lose that spotted marker. Well, that's kind of a rough start here so far. We'll clean that up here in a minute. All right, let's come down to the Java C. Now he's in a narrow area, so he gets a +1 modifier to the search and contact roll. That can be a 5 and a 1, so some sort of small convoy, just barely. Sparse small convoy, which is going to be just 2 and 1. Okay, we got a no solution marker here too far. So we just have these 2 ships. I think I'll set up here. Hopefully both of them are just merchants or auxiliaries. So I guess we go aggressive. Okay. Oh no, an aircraft. Boo. All right. So TDCs, we just get the 1. It's a +3, so it becomes a +2 with our posture. 5 attack, -1 defense, -2 for the aircraft, leaves us with 2. And then that's a TDC of 2, so that subtracts 2 more. So we need a 0 to hit it, but we do have a -1 DRM, so a 0 or 1. Not even close. Needed those reversed. Counterattack from the aircraft is going to be 2. +3 from the war period is 5. We got no red boxes here, fortunately. But then we are in shallow waters, so we only get to subtract 2 for our defense. So he's going to be on the 3 to 4 row. +1 for aggressive posture. Ooh, that's bad. 9. 3 to 4 row. 9 is damaged. I think that tells us that we need to bug out. So we will forego the reattack. We will withdraw. He's a B rating, but he's damaged and he went aggressive. So he's going to need a 2 or less to stick around. Nope. All right. He will RTB. This is not going very well so far for week 2. Let's come up and do the North Philippine Sea next. It's the Grayling. These are not narrow or shallow over here, so straight roll. Oh, a 0 and a 6. So the 0 is nothing, is a white box, but then the 6 isn't high enough to give us a loner contact. Would have had to have a 9 for that. So he finds nothing. So for his endurance roll, he's a B rating. And since he found no enemy contacts, he gets a -1. So he can stick around on a 5 or less. Ooh, he got a 5. So he will stay out. South Philippine Sea. Again, no die roll modifier for this. 6 and an 8. There we go. 6 will be sparse. 8 will be task force. The sparse task force in war period 3 is 1, 1, 2, and 3. All right. Well, I kind of like what I'm seeing over here in column D. So let's try going there. We will just go standard posture, I think. So we will flip over 4. Oh, come on. And it's a 5. Wow. All right, rolling on the Diligent Escort. Row a 6. No modifiers. We've been spotted. And then a combat event. Throw some more fuel on the fire. 8. I think that's the one where we don't get to attack. Yep, counterattack. So we got to finish revealing stuff, and then they get a shot at us, and we don't get to attack. Oh boy. Another combat event that gets ignored. You can't have 2 in the same round. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my. Well, now I think, let me double check this, but I think that the second one does not get to roll unless that one combat event has occurred. Wouldn't that have been something if we had gotten that and then flipped a second one? Let's see. If a second diligent escort is revealed in the same, in the same column. Well, this isn't in the same column. And deadly division occurred anytime during this attack roll as per the bold above. No withdrawal is allowed. If combat 5 is not active, the second diligent escort is ignored, removed, do not replace. Okay, so yeah, if it's revealed in a column that does not already have one. So since this is in a different column, we do have to face both of them. Oh my. All right, well, and this time, this one gets a +1 because we're spotted. So this could be really bad. Yep, 7. That damages us. And then I think because of that... Oh, wait. No. This is going to get us out of that. That was actually beneficial to us, I think. Because since he damaged us on the diligent escort roll, we can choose to withdraw now and forego the rest of the combat round. Or the rest of the combat phase. Go straight to the endurance check. So that is definitely what we are going to do. Because we don't want to face a counterattack with an ASW value of 9 plus 3 plus, where are we at? 1. 13 minus our 4 defense, which I think we might have to subtract because we're damaged as well. Yeah, that would be really bad. We'd be rolling on this 8 plus row. +1 for spotted. No, thank you. We are going to withdraw before combat. Our rating is an A, but we are damaged. So we need a 4 or less. 6. So he is the trifecta of spotted, damaged, and involuntarily RTBing. All right. Let's hope things start turning up here a little bit. Let's go to Empire Pacific. Now we've currently got 5 subs here, so we are going to have a congregating risk for any transit moves and or it affects your search and contact rolls also. -1 to that. But I think what we're going to do so that we can loosen this up a little bit here is I'm going to have let's have Wahoo with Morton patrol move over here to East China Sea. So he's going to have to do a transit event check with 4 red boxes. And there's going to be no modifiers to that unless the Super Skipper doesn't help with Those are DRMs. Let me check if Super Skipper, well, that's all there would be, right, is a DRM. So yeah, it looks like Super Skipper doesn't help with transit event checks. We are going to have a +1 for the congregating risk because we're leaving an area that had more than 4 subs in it. So yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. We face a potential transit event. Okay, 3, good. All right, so then he will search and contact here. I don't think Super Skipper helps with that either, does it? Nope. We do not have congregating risk in this area because there's only 2 other subs there. So it looks like just a straight roll. It's not narrow. It is shallow though. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, we got a 6 and a 3. So 6 and a 3. 6 is going to give us a high density. Or no, I'm looking at the wrong one. What am I doing? I'm doing it again. I'm reverting back to War Period 1. Got so used to doing that in my last playthrough. There was only 1 red box here. So transit event would have only happened on an 8 or 9 with that +1 modifier actually. So, all right. So anyway, we rolled a 6, which is going to be for War Period 3, low density. And then a 3 is going to be a small convoy. So low density, small convoy is going to be 2, 2, and 1. Okay, before we proceed here, I just realized I messed up again with those diligent escorts. I was supposed to draw a destroyer from the IJN pool for each of those, and then just keep the diligent escort marker with it as a reminder that it's a diligent escort. And then whatever ship was drawn would get a +3 to their ASW value, capped at 6 though. For this last time, it wouldn't have mattered since there was no counterattack. It might have mattered for that first diligent escort we got. Or did we get 2 before that one? I don't remember. Anyway, I'll try to remember that next time. Every time I see those things, I just go into panic mode. And I forget to draw, that I have to draw an actual ship for them as well. Excuse me. All right, well, here's what Morton and the Wahoo have to face. It doesn't look that great. I think we'll put them here. They are going to get a +1 to their attack rating from the Super Skipper, so that should help. And also +1 to their defense rating. When we get counterattacked, you get to add in the Super Skipper value as well. So that's definitely going to be nice. But I think, let's see, we got 4 tactical rating. I'm thinking maybe we go cautious here. I'm not really liking what I see. That way we'll only have to flip over 3. Let's try this one. Oh, combat event. A 2 is going to be, oh great, torpedo malfunction. So we have to roll another die and see what actually happens. This one got a little bit of an update in 2.0. It used to be that 2 was just always this circular run. You had to worry about the torpedo coming back and detonating on you. But now they make it a little possibility for something different. Let's see what we get. 6. 6 is dead torpedo. The torpedo has suffered a major malfunction without danger to the submarine. Well, that's good. The submarine, this part isn't good. The submarine's attack value is halved round down for the current attack round due to corrective activities in the torpedo room. Conduct a counterattack round as normal. So our 7 attack is going to get rounded down to 3, but then still +1 from the Super Skipper. So that's going to be kind of lame. Let's get rid of that combat event marker. That was our first one we flipped, and we said we were going cautious, right? So I only have to flip 3. So let's do this one. Oh, good. And let's try over here. Oh. Well, hopefully that ASW value goes down for him. So those both get replaced. So our auxiliary is going to be 16,000 ton oiler Hayatomo. And then our destroyer is, oh good, it did go down a lot. Isonami. I think we had him before, didn't we? Something similar to that anyway. All right, well, that's not as bad. Let's see if we can make anything out of this mess. We get 4 TDCs, so it looks like everybody's getting one. I do like drawing these out of the bowl better. I feel like it's easier to get, not always keep getting the ones on the top. I always try to dig down when I'm getting them out of the cup. It just seems like it takes longer and it's kind of hard. That's only a 0. That's not great. I'm not going after him. These are terrible. All right, let's see if we can make a with our halved attack value. I highly doubt it. Let's see. Maybe with a 0. Let's see. So we're only at 3, but +1 for the super skipper is 4. But then we got to subtract 1 for the torpedoes. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a shot. That goes to 0 from the ship defense, and then -1 for the destroyer. The TDC, that's our unmodified one, but we still don't have a shot at it. So we can't make a shot, but at least that means they don't do a counterattack, since we couldn't. If you remember in the first round, if no successful attack can be made, there is no counterattack. So I guess we'll stay around. I think we'll go stay cautious, though, just to be on the safe side. We'll stay in this column, hopefully get a good shot at that oiler, and hopefully these aren't bad. Oh, found a light cruiser in column A. That's unusual. And a merchant. Oh, perfect. Okay, I can live with that. Now we just need some good TDC markers. I think I'm going to try to find some small bowls to use for our ship cups as well before I film the next turn. You can tell how old I am before I record the next turn. All right, that is the best we could do, I think. Let's see if we get a shot this time. We should. Oh yeah, definitely, because we're back to our full attack now for this round. So let's sink this guy. 7 + 1 is 8, -1 for the torpedoes. So we're at 7. -3 defense is 4. -1 ASW is 3. That TDC, we'll make that the designated unmodified one. So that's now a -3 because it's the re-attack round. So that's going to add another 3 to our 2-hit roll. So we're at 6. So we need a 6 or less. Come on, we can get a 6 or less, right? We just need to also get for a 16,000 tonner. We don't get to add the super skipper for this part. So we need we also need a 6 on the white die. So we need both of these to be, but we need the white die to be 6 or higher. We need the black die to be 6 or lower. So let's do it. Come on, really? I hit, but then nothing. Good old dud. Highly disappointed. We do have a counterattack this time. So our 1 plus 3 for the war period is 4. We've got, where are we at now? East China Sea. So we've got 1 red box, so that's 5. But, oh, this is nice. So remember, our super skipper gets added to our defense, so that's also a 5. So that's down to 0. We are in shallow waters, though, so we actually only get to subtract 4. So it's still only on the 1 to 2 row, though. And our modifiers are going to be +1 for reattack, but then -1 for cautious. Yep. So 1 to 2 row, straight roll. A 1. Yeah, that's definitely okie dokie. All right. Kind of disappointing. Had a really nice chance at that. So let's get rid of all of these. Oh, I just realized I was supposed to replace that light cruiser up here. That was my mistake, but we weren't going to go after it anyway. All right, this guy goes back here. This guy goes here. Now for our endurance check. Doesn't look like the super skipper helps with that. So, but we are an A rating. And no die roll modifiers. So 5 or less. 60% chance to stay out. And we do. Good. It's a long haul to get over here, so I'm going to try to stay here as long as possible. We got all 3 of them that'll be able to patrol their next turn. All right, so going back to Empire Pacific, I think now that we're down to 4 subs here, do we want to send one more over there to East China Sea? Maybe we do. We got some more coming out, so we should probably keep trying to push this way, not get too bunched up. So yeah, let's send the trigger over here as well. So this time no congregating risk because he's moving into an area that only has 4 and left an area that only had 4. So looks like a straight die roll. We do get a +1 for the shallow. I think I forgot that last time. Narrow or shallow gives you a +1 on your transit event check. We were super low on that last one. So we do have +1 for the transit event check. Only an 8 or 9 will matter. Oh, we get a 9. Now the +1 for the shallow also applies to these 2 rolls on the actual event table. So that's going to be a 7 and a 9. I think that's going to be kind of bad. 7, we're in war period 2 or 3 now. Got to remember to use this column. And then, what was the other one? A 9. 9, oh, you got to be kidding me. Lost at sea. Cause unknown. Wow. That's terrible. All right. So the trigger has been lost at sea. I'm pretty sure that counts as a sub lost. So we'll put him over with our other ones that started the scenario sunk. yeah. All right. This week has just been terrible for us. Let's move on to the Coral Islands. We got S32 and S23 here. They're kind of crappy boats, though. And they do have to, these are part of the 8 that we have committed to the Aleutian campaign, so they can only patrol in the Coral Islands and the Aleutian Islands and have to return to Dutch Harbor when they need to. So let's do our search and contact for the S32. Looks like no modifiers on that roll. That's going to be a 3 and a 1, which is going to be nothing. So his endurance check, he's a D rating, but he did find no contact, so he gets a -1 to it. So 3 or less, and he can stay out. Nope, he's going home. And the 23. 2 and a 7. I think that's going to be a whole lot of nothing too. Yep. So he is also a D, so with the -1 modifier, he's going to need a 3 or less as well. And he goes home. Next turn. Let's flip this to transit side, actually. They say in the rules to leave them on the patrol side in the done box with an RTB marker, and then in the in-turn phase, flip them all over to transit side, but I don't really see the point of doing that. If you know of one, let me know what it is, but I've just been flipping them directly to transit as soon as they have to RTB. Okay, let's move down this way to the Bonins. We've got the Pollock here. Do we want to have him patrol here, or do we want to shoot him over to the... Why don't we send him over to the Empire Pacific? So he's going to patrol move over to here, which means a transit event check, and only a 9 will be bad. Potentially bad, so he's fine. So search and contact, again, no modifiers. 6 and 7, that should get us something. 6 is going to be low density. 7 is going to be a large convoy. Nice. So a low density, large convoy, 2211. All right, before we proceed with the Pollock's attack rounds here, I just realized something that I could have taken advantage of earlier in the turn. I'm not that familiar with these submarine tenders yet, and I wasn't thinking about it at the time. But when these two ships here, the Pickerel and the, whatever this guy is, the Pompano, when they entered, or when they entered the North Pacific, while they were RTBing back to base, because the Sperry is now located in North Pacific, they could have rolled, and because they're damaged, they can't just automatically go there, but they could have rolled on the damage table, and as long as they get a light result, they're able to base there at the subtender Sperry. If they get any other result than superficial, then they have to continue to an actual base. But so I'm going to go ahead and roll for that now to see if they could have actually docked there at the Sperry. So let's do we'll do the black die for the top one, the white die for the bottom one, and we're looking for a 0 to 2. All right, so the top one did. So his damage comes off, and he's actually in the broom box at Sperry. The other guy has to stay here, and then we'll RTB back to Pearl next turn. So I'm glad I caught that. Now back to our regularly scheduled action. I think we're going to have the Pollock here set up in column B. Wow, I don't know if it was a good idea to send this guy, now that I think about it. He's only a 4 into that area. But, I mean, it's not really any more dangerous, I guess, than the Bonans. A little better chance of finding something. All right, so I think we'll have him go cautious. So we'll just flip over the 2 in our column. Okay, that's good, and that's good. A couple of little easy targets here. So hopefully we can get one of them down at least in this first round. And then maybe we'll have to decide if we want to stick around for a counterattack. Or for a reattack, I mean. We won't be counterattacked, fortunately. So we get 3 TDC markers. I think we'll go these 2, obviously. Come on. And then let's put 1 over there on the ship in column C, just in case neither of those are any good. Oh, that one is. So was that. But I think we'll go with the devil we know versus the devil we don't. All right, so 4 minus 1 is going to be 3 minus 1 defense. Then we'll designate this as our unmodified TDC, so we get to add 3 back. So that's going to be 5. So we just need a 5 or less to hit it, and not that big of a roll to sink it. Come on. Yes, 3, and that 4 should do it. Yes, it will. That was the lowest we could have gotten and still sunk it, but we did. So finally we get something going here in week 2. So that's 1 ship and another 1,000 tons. Go back to column B. So we're up to 237 ships and 986,000 tons. All right, and then no counterattack because there's no ASW showing. I think we will stay in this column. We will stay. Keep wanting to say passive, but it's not passive. Cautious. We'll stay cautious. Let's flip this one. Okay, good. Remember to replace that. And then, oh boy, this one. Oh, nice. That light cruiser that's hanging out in Cup A for some reason. All right, so those both need to get replaced. So for our CA, get one out of this cup. And we got the Miyoko. Same tonnage, same defense. So that goes back to cup C, and then a CL for our column A ship. And that is also an identical one. Abukuma, sorry. He goes back to A. I'm going to verify that on the, make sure I didn't mess something up. War mix table. CL, 5,000 ton, war period 3. Yep, there is one in cup A. 2 in B, 2 in C, and 1 in D. So let's see what we can do in our reattack round. Still no concern of a counterattack, so that's good. We stayed cautious, so we still get to put out our 3 TDCs. One there, one there, one there. -2 on him. Okay, only a -1 there. That'll become a -2. That's a -3. Don't think, yeah, we won't have a shot at him. Or would, yeah, we might. -3. Let me think about this. So he's a 3. But then, so we lose 1 for being over a column. We lose 4 for his defense, so that's -2, but then that's a -3. So yeah, actually a 1 or less would hit him. This guy, we're at 3 -2 defense, but then that's a -2, so back 2 back. So we need a 3 or less for this guy. Like I said, a 1 or less for that guy. And then over here, we're not going to have a shot at him. 3 -5 is -2 plus another -1 for column over. So yeah, can't go after the big guy. But so we could try for the extra tonnage. I don't know if there's any bonus for the victory conditions for sinking CLs. Where are we at here? What, campaign 3? That's 4, campaign 3. Nope, it's only adjusted. Our victory level is only adjusted based on how many subs we lose. So no bumping it up for sinking capital ships. I don't even remember if CLs count as that. It might just be CVs, CAs, and BBs. But anyway, I say we go after the extra tonnage, even though it's less probability. So let me recalculate that. 3, we lose 1 for the column shift. We lose 4 for the defense. Puts us at -2, but then our -3 TDC brings it back up to 1. So we need a 1 or a 0 to hit the light cruiser there. And we got a 4. So we would have missed this guy as well. We did get a nice damage roll, though, if we would have hit it. All right. That's okay. No counterattack. So he gets to do his endurance check. He's a C rating. And no modifiers apply. So he's going to need a 3 or less. And he got a 1. Good job, Pollock. So we're going to have 4 subs there in the Empire Pacific next turn. Looking for stuff. That'll be nice. All right, now we're down to the Marianas. The Whale. No modifiers for his roll. Ooh, nice. A 7 and a 7. So that 7 is going to be low density. And the other 7, I believe, is a large convoy. Yes. Low density, large convoy. Ward period 3, 2211. All right, here's what we have for the Whale. I'm thinking column B. I'm thinking cautious posture. You know what? Let's go standard. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. This one. And this one. Ooh. 8 defense, though. And he's in the other column. I mean, we could slide over there in the re-attack round, potentially. We'll have to see. That's... have to get a pretty lucky shot on him. 32,000 tons. That's going to need a 8 or 9 to sink him in one go. All right, let's see what we can make happen here, though. So we get our 4 TDC markers. Just go with the 4 that we revealed. All right, we'll save him for last. +3 there, that's no good. That's okay, that's okay. -3, nope. -1. So yeah, that would... The -1 basically cancels out the column over, but then we're only looking at 6 attack versus his 8 defense. So that's not going to work. But we should have a pretty good chance at that one. And we could potentially do a split shot on both of them. Let's see what just attacking 1 is. So if we do against this guy is going to be 6. -1 is 5. So yeah, 5 or less. Excuse me. Let's say we split it. Let's say we put 4 on this guy, 3 on this guy, which will end up being the same because he has 1 more defense. So if we commit 3 to him, that gets knocked down to 2 -1. So we'd need a 1. We need a 1 or less to hit for each of those. So 2 shots at 1 or less, or 1 shot at 5 or less. I think I like the 1 shot at 5 or less. If it was like 3 or less, maybe, but... Oh, look at that. A 0 and a 5. So that's definitely going to sink him. 5 is going to get reduced to a 4, but that's still a sunk result. So another ship, another 2,000 tons. Up to 238 ships. Remember, we're gunning for 270 so we can improve our torpedoes. And then another couple thousand tons puts us at 988. Very nice. No re-attack. I think, you know what, let's, just for funsies, let's slide over here. We're going to go aggressive now. Because we were standard that time, so we're allowed to go to aggressive. So we got to flip over this guy. Oh, all right. I was afraid of that. At least it wasn't a diligent. And we get, oh good, he's only got a half. The Nagatsuki, only 1,000 tonner. All right, let's make this happen. We need a -3 TDC on that guy, or a -2, because either way it'll net out to -4. That's the one. Please be the one. 0. Oh, wait, we can't even put 1 over here. That's too far away. +3 on him. It's only -1, but I mean, it's still -3, so maybe. Or if not, maybe we'll actually have a shot at that destroyer. That is a -4. All right. So let's see if we can hit the battleship. Oh, wait, I forgot too. We gotta, geez, and all the excitement of seeing a battleship, I forgot to see what it really is. Oh, 40,000 ton. The Mutsu. Or Mutsu. Maybe it's Mutsu. This goes back in C. All right. Oh, but he's got a 9 defense. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Maybe we can do it, though. 7 becomes 6. No, I think because of that, I think him being there is going to make it just impossible. 6 minus 9 is -3. Then we get to add in 3 for the TDC, which puts us at 0, but then he takes it down a notch. Oh, well. But I think we will have a shot at him. 6 minus 6 is 0. -1 for his ASW, -1 for the column shift puts us at -2, but that's a -4 TDC because it's re-attack round and we're aggressive. So it actually becomes a +2, and we have a -1 die roll modifier, so a 3 or less will hit the destroyer. And we got a 1 and an 8. That's going to sink him. He's only a little 1,000-tonner. Nice. So the DD Nagatsuki is no more. He is out of the game. Over there in the piles of shame. Those are just withdrawn. They're not really piles of shame, but he started the pile of shame. All right, so that's another ship and another 1,000 tons. So these both move up. Puts us at 239 and 989 for tonnage. All right. Well, the whale did quite well there. Sunk 2 ships on a single week out. Let's see if he gets to stay. He's an A rating, but he did go aggressive. Oh, yeah, and I guess I should mention, since we took out the destroyer, now we don't have to face a counterattack because everyone else is 0s. This guy only counts if we're doing surface gunnery. So, yeah, A rating, 5, but +1 for aggressive, so he is going to need a 4 or less to stay around. I sure hope he can. Yes. Okay, so he goes to the done section. And we move on to the Tunny in the Carolines. So he's going to search and contact. Hopefully contact. Maybe not. A 2 and a 4. Nope. There are no red boxes on War Period 3, so no chance of a loner either. So maybe we should have moved him up to the Marianas. Oh well. So his he's an A rating. He gets plus or -1 for no contacts. So he needs a 6 or less to stay. He does. Moving down to the Solomons. Do we actually want to have these guys patrol there, or do we want to move them into the Carolines? I think they got better chances of finding stuff in the Carolines, and there's no red boxes, so they don't have to worry about transit event checks. So the grouper will come up here. And we'll see if he can find something. Yes, a 7 and a 2. It's going to be a small convoy of some sort. 7's going to be low density. So low density small convoy is 221. All right, as I was putting the other counters back from the previous encounter, I realized something that I forgot to check out, and that is the special rules for Japanese battleship doctrine. So basically, it's kind of what I alluded to earlier with the areas here that have the little battleship icon on them. And I mentioned that there's at least certain battleships that can only appear in, excuse me, in those areas. So basically what it says is that all BB and BV other than Congo class, which are the 32,000 tonners, and the Yamato class, which is the 68,000 tonners, may only appear in those three areas, but then also in War Period 3, they can also appear in the North Philippine Sea. And that if you get any battleships other than those revealed, then you place them back in the cup and you reveal something else in their place. Well, in my case, I did reveal a 32,000 tonner, which is fine, but then it got replaced with an IJN unit that's actually a 40,000 ton battleship. And I checked the IJN rules to see if there was anything about what to do in that situation. I did not see anything about it. They do have special rules for the Yamato class battleships, the 68,000 tonners, where in addition to the restrictions that we just read, these two can only be encountered in certain areas in different years. And in that case, if they show up, they just don't get replaced. So I'm not sure if I should have, since we ended up revealing something other than a 32,000 ton and a 68,000 ton, if that should have gone back and I should have revealed something else, or how that should have actually worked. I mean, it didn't end up mattering in this case because we weren't able to sink it or damage it. But something I'm still a little unclear on, so I'll probably try to get some clarification on that on Board Game Geek. If any of you have any thoughts or insights on that, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But as I said, for the time being, it didn't make a difference, but will be good to know going forward. I mean, thematically, based on the reasoning they gave about the Japanese wanting to keep those other battleships close to their home waters to keep them more safely guarded, it would make sense that we wouldn't encounter that particular one where we were. But again, I'm not sure then if we just lose that reveal or if we reveal something else instead. All right, but continuing on after my little ramble there, here's what the grouper has to deal with. We got some sea mist obscuring our view there on that one. So not real appealing here. I guess we'll just go column A and see what we can do. We're only going to be flipping 3. Since that's all that's in our column or adjacent columns. Just trying to decide on posture here. I think we'll just say stay standard posture, at least till we see what we're dealing with. And we got a destroyer, another destroyer, and a destroyer. So I'm not even going to bother replacing those because I am not sticking around for this. So, not making a shot. Since I didn't make a shot and it's the first round, I'm pretty sure you can voluntarily not make a shot in the first round if you don't want to. and then not have to suffer a counterattack. Just double check on that. I know if you don't have a possible shot, it works that way, but let's see if you can actually just voluntarily decide to not target anything after you reveal stuff. So this is about revealing the ships. And then being able to unflip if you have radar. Going to be a few months before we get that. Place TDC markers. Select one for attack. I don't know, maybe we do have to make an attack, even if we don't really want to. Yeah, then it just goes into resolving the attack. Times when it is not possible to hit a target. And that's what happens. Yeah. So it looks like maybe we gotta shoot at something. It doesn't say after we flip ships that we can voluntarily decide not to take a shot. That's interesting. All right, well, that's the way we're going to play it, I guess. So let's get some. So we are going to have to get 3 destroyers out here. So first one is going to be the Shiokaze. Second one is the Kuroshio. And the third one is the Hatsuzuki. All right, so this one goes back to B. These 2 go back to A. Okay. If maybe we can bag one of these guys before we go. We got a decent chance on that first one. Maybe. They got 5 ASW though. Yikes. So 6 becomes 5. Minus the 5 ASW wipes that out. And then 6 defense. Yeah, we don't have a shot. So yeah, I guess in this case it worked out okay because we don't have a shot now. So we do not face a counterattack. Good. But it still seems odd that you just can't voluntarily say, nope, I'm out of here. Once you reveal the ships. All right, so yeah, definitely not sticking around. So endurance check. He is an A rating, no modifiers. So he needs a 5 or less. 7. RTB for the grouper. All right, I think we'll have the gray back do the same. We'll transit move him up to there. No transit event check required. So he will try to find something. An 8 and a 5. He's got also a low density. 5 is going to be, is that enough for a large convoy? It is. So low density, large convoy, pretty much the same. We just get a ship in D as well. So 2-2-1-1. All right, we're going to have the gray back set up in column B. We'll have him go standard, I guess. Let's flip these 4. 1,000-ton merchant, 1,000-ton merchant, combat event. 5. Our good old Cui Favit Fortuna. So, possibility of that dreaded deadly division event. Let's see what we get. Nope, we got a 1, so that's going to be perfect setup. So all of our TDC markers count as negative. So that will be hopefully nice. Last time we got that, it didn't matter because they were all negative anyway. So let's put that back in cut B, and then our 4th flip will be this guy. And another combat event, which gets ignored. Okay then. Got a couple of 1,000-ton merchants here that we can go after. We get 4 TDC markers, but we only got 3 spots to put anything, so that's all we get. Again, these will all be negatives no matter what. Oh, that's good. So that's a -3 instead of a +3. So that looks like our winner for our target. 6 minus 1 is going to be 5. -1 for the column shift over. -2 for the defense of the ship. But then a -3 TDC. Puts us back up to 5. So 5 or less to hit this guy. So we want to split our shots. Let's say we sent 4 on him. So that would be 3. -2, 1, -1 for the shift, +3. So we'd need a 3 then. And then this guy would only be sending 2 at. Right? I said send 4 here for that. If we only sent 2 here, that would be 1. -2 is a -1, but then that would bring it back to 0. So we'd need a 0 to hit that one and a 3 to hit that one. Or if we did it, instead of a 4-2 split, a 3-3 split, I think we'd be looking at 2 to hit for each. So do we want 2 chances at a 2 or less, or do we just want 1 chance at a 5 or less? I think we'll just do the 1 chance at a 5 or less. And just make sure that's correct again. 5 -2 is 3, -1 is 2, but then +3 back. So yeah, 5 or less. And it was a moot discussion anyway, because we rolled a 7-0. All right. I think we shift over here. You know what? Let's go aggressive. Flip this. Nice. All right. So we're aggressive posture now. Now if we get a couple of good negatives, we might want to do a split attack. So these are all going to be -2. Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah, so I think we'll do a split attack this time. On these guys, we'll send one, or no, it's going to be even this time because we're not a 7. So 3 and 3. So whatever this guy hits on, this guy will hit on one more because of the 2 versus 1 defense. So we send 3 at him. That's going to be 2 attack. Minus his 2 defense is 0. But then we add back in 4. So we need a 4 or less to hit this guy, a 5 or less to hit this guy. So let's do the top one first, 5 or less. Got it, but the 2 is not going to sink it. It just damages him. And then we need a 4 or less for this one. Didn't get it, but we got the high damage roll that time. That figures. And no counterattack, so that's going to do it for the gray back. He gets +1 on his endurance check. He's a B rating, so he needs a 3 or less. Does not get it. He will also RTB next week. All right, I think that just leaves the Marshals and the North Pacific here. So let's see. North Pacific, not that great. Marshals even worse. So I think we'll send I probably want to send all 3 of these guys up to the Bonins. I guess we can handle a little bit of congregating risk there. Or actually, we could send a couple of them over to the Marianas. And then that way, there'll only be 4 here. Yeah, so we'll patrol move the Plunger down to the Bonins. So he has to check for a transit event. Only on a 9. Nope. So his search and contact is a 1-0. So even though he got the white box for the 1 and then a 0 for the second roll, to get that sub versus sub encounter, both dice have to be 0. So that is going to be a big fat nothing for him. He gets to endurance check with a -1 for not encountering anybody. C rating, he needs a 4 or less. Gets it. So he stays there. The Salmon will do the same thing. Transit event only on a 9. Search and contact. There we go. 7 and 8. 7 is going to be medium density. And 8's going to be a task force, or moderate density, sorry. Moderate task force for war period 3 is 2234. All right, here's what the Salmon drew. He's only got a 5 attack rating. I was thinking of sending him to column D, but I don't know how well he'll fare against those big capital ships if he comes across some of those. Really have to get a good TDC result. I think we'll try column C. We'll go standard attack posture. So we'll flip over 4. Okay, got an AP there. Oh, our friend is back. Not our friend. Oh, I keep forgetting. I can try to crash dive. This guy can actually crash dive on a 1 or less. Nope. So the roll for the Diligent Escort is going to be with no modifiers. And you got a 0. Nice. All right. But we will need to replace him. So I won't forget that this time. Or not replace him, but put one next to him. This guy, and then we'll go this guy. All right. Well, I don't think, I guess it depends on what we draw, but whatever this guy is, he's getting a +3 to his ASW rating because he's diligent. Yeah, it's still going to be a 5. So I don't think he's going to have much of a chance here unless we get a really nice TDC on that. So we'll just do it this way so we remember that he's diligent. Sorry for the focusing there. All right, well, let's see if we can make some lemonade out of these lemons. Get 4 TDCs. Go ahead and put one on here just in case these are all bad. All right, that's a -2. Oh, well, maybe we will. Yeah, looks like we might try our luck with that one. This guy, he's only going to be a 4. Basically -5, 6, 7. So that's no shot. Don't think we have a shot over here either. 4 minus 5 is -1, -2 for going over, -5, yeah. So do we have a shot at this? So you treat it as if it has a defense value of 1 until it's revealed. So 4 minus 1 for his defense, -5 for the ASW puts us at -2. Then that brings us back up to +1. So if it's only a defense of 1 or 2, we will still have a shot after we reveal it. So taking the shot here, and no. So we'll see what it's actually going to be, but I'm pretty sure all of the carriers have a defense higher than 2. So we ended up with, I dropped it, the Hosho. Well, it's close. Only had a defense of 3, but that's still just out of reach, I think. So he's aircraft capable, so he doesn't count his ASW for the attack round, but he will for the counterattack. That was from column C. Oh boy. Yeah, so I think we don't have an actual shot. 4 minus 3 is 1. Minus 5 is -4. And then that brings it up only to -1. So I think, let me see if this makes a difference. Whether there's a counterattack or not. Because I think if you thought you could make the shot, but then after revealing it, you couldn't, it's still as if you made the shot. Yeah, it's on this note here. Unrevealed units with TDC markers are considered to have a defense of 1 until revealed. If attacked and it is determined that the target cannot be hit, the attack goes through with an automatic miss, followed by a counterattack. So we do still get counterattacked, even though we ended up not having a valid solution. So for the counterattack, I should have replaced these two. I'll do that real quick, but it doesn't make a difference. Well, maybe it could, I guess, if they have lower defense. I don't know. No, he's still a 3. And this guy gets this one, which is also a 3. Come on, focus. The Aramo. And the Nagoya Maru. This goes back to B. This goes back to D. All right, now we're legal. Yeah, so counterattack, we've got his 5, because he gets the +3 because he's diligent. We get a half from the carrier, which rounds up to 6. Another 3 for the war period is 9. And we have 1 red box in the op area is 10. So 10 minus his 2 defense is going to be on that 8+ row. This could be nasty. No modifiers. So yeah, we need a really low number here. 3, that's pretty low. Hopefully low enough. Yes, we're only spotted. So we are definitely going to withdraw from this mess. So let's see if we get to stick around or not. He's a B rating. None of the modifiers apply. So he needs a 4 or less. Nope. RTB for him. All right, and then is that where I sent him? Yeah, because he came down from North Pacific, right? Both of these did. Yeah, that's right. Because then we were going to send a couple of these guys to the Marianas and then the other one to the Bonins. All right, so let's do over here. We'll send the a 7, a 6, and a 5. Who do we want where? Because it's pretty much the same. Let's send the Scorpion down here to the Marianas. So he'll have a transit event check on a 9. Nope. Search and contact. 9 and 3. So he's going to get high density. 3 is going to be a small convoy. So that's high density, small convoy, 322. All right, here's what he gets. I think we'll go column B. This was a too far for that one. Yeah, column B, let's go standard attack posture. Hopefully these are, that's not great. It's okay. We seem to have some really small merchant ships there and cut me. Oh, come on. Really? Really? All right, let's see if we can crash drive. 0. Nope. So he gets to roll with no modifiers. An 8. Oh my. That's damaged. I'm not going to bother replacing those because I'm just going to leave right now after being damaged by that diligent escort. So A rating with damage is going to need a 4 or less. Nope. Okay. Let's send, got 2 there now. Let's send the Seawolf over to the Marianas as well. So only transit event only on a 9. Nope. Search and contact. 2 and 3. I don't think that's going to be anything. So endurance check with a -1 modifier. He's a B. That's definitely going to let him stay. He needed a 5 or less. Okay, and then last but not least, the Seal. We're going to send him up to the Bonins. And again, transit event possibility on a 9, no. Search and contact. 0-3 is going to be nothing and nothing. No loaner, no sub. So he will do an endurance check with a -1. He is also a B. And a 5, I think, was just enough. Yes. So he gets to stay there. All right. That's all of our subs on patrol. We still have to get all these subs out of their bases, but as you may have just noticed from my cuckoo clock, it is now just past midnight. So I'm going to call it here and we'll pick up recording this tomorrow. All right, let's get all these subs out to sea. We're going to start up here in Dutch Harbor. Again, these subs can only operate in the Aleutians and the Corals. Looks like much better hunting in the Corals, so I think I'll try to get as many as I can out there without too much. So I guess even if once you go over 4, as long as you keep it to 8 or less, you're still only looking at +1 for congregating risk. So thinking maybe I'll just send them all out there. So we got the permit. He will go first. No congregating risk yet, and there's only 1 red box for War Period 3, so with the -1 modifier for being on transit side, he doesn't need to check. That puts us at 3 subs there. So 1 more can make it out there. So we'll send the S30 as well. Guess we should put these down here on patrol side then. So those 2 won't have a transit event check, but now that there's 4 there, any others that we send will have a +1 modifier, which negates their -1 for transit side. So now we have to roll for these 2. Only if they get a 9 though do we need to worry about it. 0. So he will patrol there next turn. And we'll do the same with the S34. 8. He is just barely safe. All right, so we're just going to pile them all up there in the Coral Islands. Okay, then we've got a few here at Brisbane, and then several at Pearl Harbor. So let's get these ones at Brisbane out first. Thinking about where we want to have them heading to. Maybe get some more over here toward the South Philippine Sea. So we could send some up to the Bismarck Sea. That gives them access to South Philippine Sea and the Carolines. Not really anything. The Gilbert's not very good. Solomon's not that great. So yeah, I think we'll just send them all up to the Bismarck Sea. There are 3 of them there. And let's see, only one, no red boxes here. And no red boxes here. So none of them have to worry about transit events. So we will just send all 3 of them there, flip them over to patrol side. And actually, no, Bandasea isn't bad either. Maybe we could, I mean, it is narrow and shallow there though, so yeah, we'll just stick with that. This guy's coming back from their next turn, so it'll just be the 3 of them in the South Philippine Sea. And then the ones at Pearl, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 of them there. Let's see what we're actually working with. We got kind of a mix here. A couple of really good ones, one pretty decent early Gatto, and then a couple of not so great new S1s. Let's see. We got a couple, or just one, I guess, coming back from the Bonans next turn. So I think we'll send some of them over here to the Marshall Islands, probably some of our better ones, to try to get them over this way. And then we'll put the others up in North Pacific so they can kind of come in up top there. All right, so why don't we send the Snook and the Pogie both to the Marshall Islands. They've got no transit events to worry about. We'll just shoot them directly there. Just wondering, maybe we should, if we want to get them further in, maybe leave them on their transit side. You know what? We've only got this. Well, we got 2 guys there that'll be patrolling next turn. Let's do 1 of each, since we're being a little indecisive here. We'll leave the Pogie in transit, then we'll have the Snook go patrol side. And then the others, we've got this guy. Let's send him up to here. Now he will, again, not have to do a transit event check because there's only the 1 red box and he has a -1 and there's no congregating risk. So he will come here. Let's have him, we've already got 4 there. Yeah, let's have him go patrol side. Yeah, even if we send all 3 of these guys there, there won't be any congregating risk. So yeah, let's just send these here as well. Well, let's leave him in transit. Get him a little further in. And we'll have these guys patrol from there. All right, I think that is all of them. So that's going to do it for our operations segment. Quite a lengthy one. For conclude turn phase, we have no weather that's out currently. We do have some spotted markers we need to try to get rid of. So over here in South China Sea 1, again a 6 or less. Nope, he keeps his. We have one here, South China Sea 2. He does lose his. And there, this one in the South Philippine Sea, loses it. And none there, none there, none there. Here's one. He loses his. None there. None. 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 None there. None there. I think that's all of them. All right. So then, only thing else left is to advance the date markers, and again, we're not ready to roll for war progress yet. We've got several months before we do that. Actually, over a year. It's going to be a while. So we're moving into week 3. So we'll see you next time for Silent War 2.0.